Hello. Welcome. Hi, Molly. Hi, Yolanda. Hey.
Hi there.
Hello.
I was working on the calendar and it just didn't work for me.
Uh-huh.
I couldn't get the dates. And then there were so many dates. There were holidays that cluttered everything and
Hey, so
AM,
let's talk about that.
PM. I tried and it was so frustrating for me.
So let's work on that because we just brought it up the other day, really. Not really.
Yeah.
Did quite a bit with it, but I didn't take the time to slowly check in on whether everyone was able to make appointments and get their things set up, which is at the end of the class, I said, okay, let me just double check that everyone has it working, right? But that's why I love it when I tell you, okay, guys, the homework is try to make these things happen on your own. And then what your feedback you're giving me is exactly right. It's like, okay, I tried this and it just didn't work. So now let's figure out what didn't work and how to help you with that. So, welcome everyone. Hi, Julie. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Dawn. Mary Ellen, I turned it on.
All right.
Yolanda and Molly, who I was already talking to. Um, all right, so guys, go to the chat. Not only give me a little hey ho, hello, I'm here, but also make sure to write in any questions like Molly just had when she came in. So that's the idea, right? To start checking in with me on things that do or don't work of the things that we've been using. And especially those of you who have maybe resisted doing one or the other of these because they were complicated, then if you try to do them and you run into trouble like Molly was doing, the answer isn't, I just won't do it. The answer is, well, Deanna is still here for one more week. Let me get her help on this, okay? So if you want to go ahead and share your screen, Molly, and let's get going, and I will try to
Okay,
straighten you out with appointments and calendars.
there you go.
All right.
Yeah.
So, first of all, I rarely use it in the month mode, right? Because you can't see the days or anything. It's just a good pre-review kind of thing, but it's still not good. By doing it in full screen, it'll fill your entire screen, which is fine. It's probably better to just make it a bit bigger and not full screen, but whatever. Okay, good.
Mhm.
So now, first of all, as I said, month mode, almost useless to me. I use it in the weekly mode and only check later in the month mode, right? So see over here at the top where I'm saying week.
Oh, a week. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So now it becomes much happier. Now let's go ahead and make sure we're in the right week. Click on today because I think that this is not today yet. We're still in April 14th. So see over here,
Uh,
the word today.
Today, I don't see it.
Oh, you must
I,
have Zoom
I,
stuff in the way. Yeah, I don't like using full screen mode because then
oh,
Zoom
just
gets in the way. Just grab this, move it a little bit to the left, and then just make it bigger. Like move it out of the way of your Zoom. I don't know how much your Zoom takes place, and then just drag it down and open. Because when you're in full mode like that, Zoom takes over. Okay, so now hit the
yes, today.
today. Okay, great. So here's today. See the little red bubble? All right. Now, before we go, so this is just daily, which
Mhm.
is fine. But again, unless you're the kind of person, say that you're a doctor's office that gets like a person every half an hour, you might need a ton of appointments during the day. But I again find that unless you do things every half an hour, I think week is the best mode to live in. But let me just, I don't disagree with you coming into this mode, but I'm just trying to show you, you were saying you're having trouble with yours. So I'm trying to show you the best way to use it, which would be to live in weekly mode. Um, and then if you want to get closer up and see the day mode, I'll show you that. But this is basically week, but notice that we're in next week because you moved over. So stay in week mode.
Okay.
but then go to today. Okay, and then this is today, this is tomorrow, et cetera, et cetera. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Oh,
Mhm.
what
Oh,
happened?
oh, let's see.
Just click on, yeah, the calendar. Okay. So I think that learning to use it in this mode is the best. Now notice that you're like at 1 a.m. to noon and stuff like that. So right now, go ahead and put your mouse somewhere in the area of the dates. Yeah, and then scroll up a bit. And notice that there's no lines here, and then lines start here as of 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m. Can you
Yeah,
feel that?
yeah.
That's because
Yeah.
most of the times people don't make appointments any earlier than that. Now, if you're a person who wakes up at 5 a.m. and you start doing things at 6 a.m., then in the settings, you can change that and say, no, I want to start appointments as of 6 a.m., for example, right? This one makes the assumption that you start appointments at 8 a.m.
Usually I do. 8
Is it
a.m.
about that? Okay, so then scroll up. No, don't click yet to make an appointment. Go ahead and say
Okay.
Command Z to undo that. I'm still showing you around a little bit. So say Command Z or
Oh,
select
Command Z. Command,
or
Command.
just select it. Since it is selected, just hit your delete key on your keyboard.
Okay.
Just, your keyboard, go to the,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
So now
yeah.
I just want to show you how this is kind of a dead zone. It's from 1 a.m. to 8 a.m. So if you're not going to make appointments in there, you might as well not see this part. So scroll with your finger, move up, or do you know how to do scrolling with your finger? 2 fingers on the touchpad or one finger on
Oh,
the mouse?
oh,
No,
no,
not clicking, not clicking.
no clicking.
Now hit the delete key to get rid of this one again.
Delete. Okay. Let's see. Delete. I'm sorry. Delete.
Yes, you can delete that way too.
Okay.
The moment you click, you're going to start making appointments. So don't click. Just, do you know how to scroll up with your mouse pad? So you scroll up and down.
I do this one.
There we go. Oh, you do that one. Okay.
I do this
Do
one.
you use a mouse pad or a mouse?
I have a mouse.
Okay. A magic mouse, an
No,
Apple mouse, or a
it's
regular mouse?
a regular.
Like an Apple mouse, a PC mouse.
But I can go right. and left.
Either way, you can go to the scroll, but what I'm saying is, why don't you scroll so that, yeah, so that this 8 a.m. is where the day starts, right? So about there, now you have it there. So that's kind of as far as being able to see, because again, you're looking at 1 a.m., 2 a.m. So until you see these lines kind of disappear, keep scrolling, keep
Yes, sir.
scrolling. Like keep scrolling until you don't see any of this.
Oh, okay.
Keep
Okay.
going until this line hits the top.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's your 8 a.m., 7 a.m. Unless you make appointments earlier than that, this is a good central point where
Oh,
you're
good.
seeing from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m.,
Okay.
right? Now, just so you know, you guys, I'm showing this to Molly, but you guys might be different. You might need to make appointments from only 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., or you might be 4 a.m. to 4 p.m. Or you can change the settings to have it give you the vision that you prefer. See what I mean? Because if you never make an appointment after 6 p.m., this is good. Now you can make, you're seeing here from I hit something and I went backwards here, from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. But if that's not enough, right? You can tell it to, like, if you make it a little bit bigger, you can make it taller now, for example, make the calendar a little bit taller so that you can see a bit more. So I go over here to this edge, Molly.
Yeah.
And then just make it a bit taller, just like move it up a bit. Yeah,
I see.
yeah. And I'm just trying to show you how the taller you go, the still it's showing you from 8 to 6 p.m. because it has a certain amount of hours that it lets you see at a time, even though she went taller. So to change that, let's go to the calendar word. Everyone who wants to see and say preferences. And everyone,
Okay.
she has preferences because she's in an older operating system. The rest of you would see calendar settings. And then watch. Here's where you make these decisions possible. Even though she went higher and taller, she was still seen from 8 to 6. You see that? So you can tell it, no, I make appointments from 8 to 8. So you can say my date ends at 8 p.m. Or you make appointments from 10 to 12. Or see over here where you can choose when you want it. Like, do you ever make appointments after 6 p.m.?
No, 8. It starts at 8 a.m. Usually it's about 2 hours. or
In
a-
general.
or sometimes 6 o'clock.
So you might have an
It-
appointment at 6, you might have an appointment
Six.
at 7, like you meet someone for dinner after that. If so, you
Yeah.
can say your date ends at 8 PM. Like you can
Oh,
choose
ends at
what,
8. Oh, yeah. Okay.
so choose
It
the
ends at
time that you
6.
like your date to end as far as appointments are concerned or events.
Or sometimes friends come over. So 8
Yeah,
o'clock,
okay, 8 to 8, right?
8 to,
And then wait, and then, yeah,
uh,
what did you do? You closed your calendar, I think. I don't know. Closes this, you don't need anymore. You
close it now.
close
Close
it.
it.
Okay, here we go. And then you can show how many hours at a time you want to see. So like right now, if you're saying 8 to 8, you're gonna be then you can see from 8 to 8 over here. And then you scroll up to see 6 a.m. on the day you need to travel and you have to take an Airbus at 5 a.m. Or someone is coming on a plane driving at 10 p.m. So you can scroll. It's not that the time disappears, but this is to what times do you want to make appointments, right?
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's that. Now you had mentioned that you're you seem to have a lot of holiday calendars. So this is where it tells you to show the holiday calendar, but don't turn it off necessarily from that one. I'm going to show you where it's better to turn it off. So hold on. So this is just the typical American way of seeing weeks. Notice that if you're from some other country, the day doesn't start on Sunday, the day start on Monday, and then you have Saturday and Sunday at the end of the calendar. And Americans have it this way. It took me a while to get it accustomed to that.
Sunday. Yeah.
But that's the norm for you. For now, let's say that you close this little thing. Just wanted to show you that for everyone to change. Okay, right. And now if you scroll up or down, you'll see that you still have lines. Keep scrolling to go the other way down. You still have lines to 8 p.m. Before you would have had
Yeah.
only to 6 p.m. And that's because you just
Yes.
that you might still want to make appointments towards 8. Does that make sense, you guys?
Yes, it does.
And you're always seeing, this would be from 12 over there to 12. So 12 hours total. All right. So now,
How do we get rid of all this stuff?
yeah, so these are the things. Yeah, so let's go over here to your calendars, which is that thing right there. Okay. And then you have US holidays, you have birthdays, you have series suggestions. Now, go ahead and notice that some of these are like, what's this Zoom link? That's you. Zoom link, the greatest. What is that? Double click on that to see what that is.
The Zoom.
Yeah, double click to see the greatest holy leaf chronology. This is when anything goes up here, it's because you haven't given it a time. You've just given it a date, so it doesn't know what time to set itself up. So this is what's considered an all-day appointment. Does this something that has a time that you are going to do that day, or you already did?
Oh, yes, and we did it yesterday, but
Okay,
but it's going to continue on for about about 2 months.
okay. Every what? Every Sunday?
Every Sunday.
So
Yes.
then let's change, right? So now it's set to be only yesterday and all day long. And I'm assuming it has a schedule. What time is it at?
It's usually 8 to 9:30.
Okay, so then click in here, the time, the day, and let's add a time to it.
Yeah, that
Click
was
there, yeah.
yesterday.
Instead of all day, which is why it went up there, right? You wanted to get rid of stuff up there. You got to get rid of your all day things. Okay.
Yeah.
Now tell it 8 to 9:30, right? So click on that. 8, tap the number, write the number 8 a.m.
8 a.m. Yeah.
So click up or down or tap the A. So click on the PM there.
A.M.
Now
Yeah.
it's till 9:30. So click in there and the 9:00, click on the 00 and change it to 30. No, it's
No,
not there.
there. 3:30.
No,
Oh,
now
no,
you
no,
made it
no,
2
no, no,
a.m.
no,
So
it's
yeah,
9.
since you
9.
told them making a half a 9 appointment, it went from 3 to 30. So go
Starts.
ahead and put a 9 in there. Whatever
Oh,
time it starts. It starts at
it's
8.
8 to 9:30.
Okay, so then you want it then there, 9:30.
9:30. Mm-hmm.
Now, do you want it to repeat every Sunday?
Yes.
Okay, so click on repeat
Okay.
on the none and instead tell it every week.
Every week.
Okay, so how many weeks?
Oh, I'd say about 6 weeks.
Right, so head over to end repeat never. Go to end repeat never, because right now it's going to repeat every single day, every single Sunday. Click on never. Yeah. And then say on date.
On date.
So end repeat on date, and then it gave you a calendar, right? So click on the calendar.
Which?
On the calendar, yeah,
Oh,
there. No, it's okay. It says end on what date? On 4/13? No,
oh, Ed. Oh.
so click on the, yeah, click right there on the 4/13 and let's count. It's gonna
That's
be on
right.
Sundays. 1, 2, 3, and you're going into the next month. So go over here,
Yes.
go to May. And then 4, 5, 6.
Sorry.
Theme, it might, the 6 would be May 18th. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
If that sounds right,
Yeah.
now that's it. So if you click on that date, right? So it's gonna stop repeating on May 18th. You're done. So
Okay.
now click away. Click somewhere
Okay.
away. Just kind of click away. Over here.
Okay.
Click away. Click off of all of this. Click away to something. Yeah, neutral.
Neutral.
Away.
Okay.
Perfect. And now if you go to 8 a.m. of, scroll up a bit to see 8 a.m. of yesterday.
Mhm.
Scroll up.
Scroll up. Sorry.
A bit better. Now there you have at 8. Oh, wait. You don't need to see 1 a.m. today. You never need to go past 8 a.m. Just put this at the top. This is your 8 a.m. This is your beginning. So scroll until the 8 a.m. hits the top, until it fits this window. Keep scrolling. The other way. This, yeah, keep going. Stop. When that purple line, keep going up now. There. So now you're seeing your 8 a.m. 10, 12, 13, all your times of day. Now,
I have to go to May. Okay.
well, not necessarily going to, but you can now go week per week. Okay. So now click on this arrow to see next week. There's April Sunday, and you're right scrolled outside of it. Use your scroll bar so you can see your appointment. Right up. There you go. Okay. Oh, you don't need to see everything. I guess I'm trying to show you to not needing to see more than you need. All you need to see is this. So this, you don't need to see. So scroll up a little bit more. There we go. Now, that used to be up here and it was bugging you. Now it's here. You gave it a time. Now you still have a bunch over there. Like, what time is this one? The Baha'i devotional. Does that have a time that you do that?
Yeah, 8 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, so, but at the same time as this?
It's, yeah.
Part of that? Okay, so grab this one. Let's click on it. Double click, so it opens up.
Double click.
We're going to edit. So now, instead of having it be an all-day event, click over here. And we're just adding anything that's up here. It's because it's an all-day event. You want to give it a time. So now click on, just click, and the times options will open up. Just click. There you go. And now turn off the all day. Good. And now say 8 a.m. So put in 8 and then a.m. And now it's at 12 p.m. It defaulted to middle of.
Okay.
So click on that 12. Click on the number 12. On the number 12 to change it to 8. Yeah.
To 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
8 o'clock.
Write the number 8. And then over here, you need to, no, first, you need to change it to a.m.
Oh, yeah.
8 a.m. That's just tap the A and that's enough. Okay. And how long does it take?
Until 9:30.
Okay, so click on the 00 and then say 9:30.
9:30. Okay.
Now it looks like this is forever, always from 9 to 9 a.m., right? So yes, repeat every single week because that happens every single week. And then it so happens, so go to every week. And it so happens that for 5 weeks of it, you'll have also the link because for 5 weeks, this will be, when this finishes, that one will still be there every single Sunday at 8 a.m. Does that make sense?
Thank you. That's good.
So that's 2 less things that are out there.
Okay.
Now, Easter holiday and Orthodox Easter, that's because it's a general US holiday thing.
Yes.
Right? So that one is because the holidays are turned on. The green ones, on the other hand, I think are probably I'm seeing green holidays in United States. So go ahead and turn, you don't need holidays in one account and in another. So go ahead and turn from here, turn that one off. One.
I didn't see it.
SBCC
Show me.
account.
Oh, it's right
See
here.
that check mark?
Okay.
Turn it off.
Yes.
Good. Now you seem to have for Dawn, maybe you have another green one. Turn that off for a second to see if that's where it comes from. No, it didn't come from there, so turn it on again. Oh, you have another one in Google. Each account, Google has one, SBCC has one, Yahoo, they have the holidays in the United States. So now turn this one off. When you have too many up there, it's because
too many
the account is trying to give you, there we go. We finally got
too much.
just one general US holidays to remind you, and that's it. And now you don't have a bunch of stuff up there.
Oh, that's good.
So
Great,
over here,
great.
you turn on or off things that you don't want. And every account comes with its own holidays. And you have 1, 2, 3. You don't need 3. So turn all the others off and just have 1 on. And there you go. Now, now you've cleaned up all that stuff on top. Okay. Meanwhile, hopefully everyone else did too. The whole holidays things has been asked a few times. And yeah, you're wondering how come you see it 3 times. There you go. Now you're seeing it one time. And one time, I actually like to have a reminder one time of what the holidays are. If you don't even want any of those, then you would turn off even that one and don't need any reminder, right?
Yeah.
But that's just the generic one. If you turn that one off, see how they disappeared?
Yeah, it's better
If you
that
want to
way.
see them, then turn it on again if you do want to see them. And if you don't want to see them, then don't. But that reminds you of every holiday. Okay?
Okay.
So it's up to you where to turn around. Now, if you look for the next 5 weeks, you'll see 2 things at the same time. And then after that, you'll see only one, because this one will turn itself off after May 18th. And if you want to check on that, go over here and click go, 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 and that'll show you all. So to this arrow. So it'll show you once a week. 1 week, okay, keep going another week. April 20, click again, Sunday, May 11th, click again, Sunday 18th, and then boom.
That's great.
Then it's only the thing that will be forever because you do it every single Sunday, right? So that'll finish, right? So now you can just go back to today. Cool. Now, you have these, remember you guys where I said people send you invitations when you see these lines like that? That's an invitation. You've been invited to something. If you want to go, you can say yes. If you don't want to go, you decline. So do you want to check one out to see? So double click. You've been invited together with a bunch of other stuff to do this from Cottage Health. If you say maybe, decline, or accept. If you go and say accept, good. Now it became an actual appointment, see, with color, and it's not a maybe, an accept, and they know you're going to show up. The day that day comes, double click. When this day comes, double click on it, and at 4 p.m., click on this link or click over here and you'll join.
Oh, that's a Zoom.
Yeah, but now you're on this one. Cancel, so cancel.
To cancel.
Okay, and close this window. But yeah, that's all you need to do at 4 p.m. on that date is click on that link or click on the word join. Either way, you'll join that meeting. So then you can look at this invitation again and see if it's something you want to go. So double click. Some of them you might want to go. Some of them you might
not. Over. Oh, this one. Yeah, that's
double
right.
Click.
Double click.
To open it. I think you're clicking 3 times double, or just hover over it. No, there.
Oh, there it is.
If you want to do it, say yes, say accept.
I accept.
Okay. Now it looks like it's a repeating event. Stop.
Oh.
So if you always gonna say, okay, then say all. So now if you go to next week, it'll be there, or unless it's a once a month or whenever it is.
Yes.
So on Wednesday at 5 p.m.
5 p.m.
Go over here and say join. Okay.
Yes.
And just like that, you could have had our classes set up and stuff like that. You don't have them right now, but next time you have a class, you could have, Mac level 1, have a link to join, and it would be twice a week. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Now, a lot of your confusion was that up there. Let me see. Why is greatest holy leaf up there? Like, what is that? So that is.
Oh, I was working on that.
Okay, so you want to double click on that? Because the stuff that was up there is what you mentioned.
It's over. Yeah.
Double click. That was, oh, it's over then. Okay, so then it's over. But again, if it's up there, it's because you didn't put a time on it. And so it goes, okay, well, I know that on April 15th, we're doing that, but you didn't give me a time. So it becomes an all-day appointment up there. And it's up to you to click on it and give it a time. And then it'll settle itself somewhere on the day. Does that make sense? Now, do you want to try to make just something new yourself? Do you want to try to make, we have, for example, one more meeting. You guys, we're done as of next week, but we have a 1:30 o'clock meeting here on Wednesday for our last meeting. Do you want to just try
Yeah.
putting it in there? Even if it's the
Oh,
last one? So go over here, Wednesday, and put your mouse on 1:30, like over here, put your mouse right there, and then drag down, click and drag down. You need to click first and then keep dragging. Oh, you let it go. So now you've made two, and now you've made two that neither one has a time. So select delete, hit delete on one of them.
just delete.
Okay.
And
And then this other one, drag it up a little bit more. So it starts at 1:30. Right now it's like at 1:45. So click on it and drag it up.
yeah.
That's about 1:30. Yeah, maybe it's about 15. It's okay. And now it looks like you left another one underneath. So select this one. You clicked kind of 3 times. So you made 3. There we go. All right. So now grab this bottom part and drag it down. What time does our class end, you guys?
The 4 something.
4:45 or 4:35. So keep going to about halfway there. That'll be about 4:35. There we go. Now, once you get better at putting your mouse, it looks like you put it at 1:15. So that's okay. It's near enough, or we can actually change it. So now double click and let's set up this event. Double click. And now let's say Mac class, even though it's the last one. So take the new event out there. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Click over here, new event.
Okay.
And select it and delete it and put last Mac or something like that. It doesn't matter, just something. We're not going to make it repeat because it's a last class, right? Cool. And then if you want in the future, you can put the Zoom link that I send you here, right? Can go to the email that I sent you and copy the Zoom link in here. But for now, let's just say the time. So click on the time. And it's set for 1:15 to 4:30. So click on the time because it doesn't really start till 1:30. Click with your tip of your arrow. Yeah. And then here put 30. Click on that and write 30. Good. And then I think it finishes at 3:35, right? 35. I have some
It's 4.
classes running at the same time that I need to confirm, but I think I'm right. Not 100%. Here's my mouse. Now I need to check. Yeah, 4:35. Okay, good. So, and since we don't have, like, do you want to try to learn how to put a video for next time? Why don't you go to your email, get your email from me? Where do you normally get it from? Yeah. And go find my email, copy this link. Yeah, copy. Cool. Now go back to your calendar down here. You have it in the doc. Go to your, yeah. And then in there, let me clean all my messy pink, paste. There you go. All right. And if this were, so now if this were something that would repeat, because you're putting in the, all the classes for the semester, you would go in there and you would give it and say repeat every Tuesday and Thursday. But right now, but let's do it just to try. Go ahead and click on the time. And let's say repeat.
Oh, here's the 10.
Hold on, that's the day it starts. So that's okay. We don't want to change that. Click away. You don't want to change the day that it starts. Just repeat.
Let's see. Oh, here. Repeat.
Yeah. And since
Eh.
it's not once a week, but twice a week, you would have gone to custom. We're going to set it up as if it repeats another week. So go to custom, because this would be
Custom.
once a week, and this is a twice a week class, right? So you would click on Monday, Wednesday, Monday.
Never-
So click on the M for Monday. Yeah, so once a week, Monday, Wednesday, you say, okay. And then when do you end the repeat? Let's end it next week. So let's say on date, end it on, and then you can go over here and tell it to end it on the 16th or whatever. Yeah, so there you go. So now you can close this. And you have set up today that we're having it, and tomorrow it won't repeat anymore because that's the last day. But now in the future, you could set up all your classes like that. And so let's assume it's Wednesday now. What would you do? You would come to your calendar, go ahead and click on this. It's Wednesday, it's 1:30. Click on here for the appointment. Yeah, and then join, or click on that to join. And it'll take you to me, which right now we're going to cancel because we're on. Does that make sense, you guys?
Yeah,
How you
yeah.
would set up appointments that are repetitive on Zoom? No, 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 don't allow because you're on right now. Say cancel. I don't want to connect
Cancel.
again. You're here. You're in. Okay. So
Okay.
that's a repetitive appointment with a time and a Zoom link. Okay. And had it been that you needed to go in person, then over here instead you would have put in the address of the place you're going, unless it's a place that you know and you don't need to put the address, right? So try again. Let's see on your own now, behind the scenes while I'm helping or talking with other people. Go ahead and try on your own to see if you can set up another appointment. I've stopped your share, and hopefully everyone was following along, setting things up, even if this one class, one more day of repetitive class, it's better than nothing.
Good,
I
good.
also wanted to mention that Thomas today very helpfully sent the information for those of you who need to change your name all the time on the, which by the way, I haven't checked today, but I think your guys' name is on there. But let me hold on because I'm getting a QR code. 233-147, 233-147. Logging in. All right, so I'm gonna share. Oh, that was the profile picture. Oh, I thought you had oh, I thought you had said, I didn't read it. I thought you had the pencil in the frame. Yeah, so the profile picture is the same. Question about where is that profile? I thought you had sent the solution. I didn't read it. I'm like, oh, Thomas sent the solution. I'll show it, but I didn't read it. And you're saying you didn't have a solution. Yeah,
No,
if you
you
have
asked for a
your video,
reminder to find the solution. So that was my reminder that you asked for.
thank you. I don't have
Maybe
it.
not soon enough, but that was
That's
this
fine.
morning.
Yeah, I didn't, I've been out doing a bunch of stuff and I didn't do it. So yeah, I don't know why, if the people who can't find profile, last time we discovered it wasn't a particular, it wasn't a particular, older or newer Zoom. It was a couple different people couldn't find it, and yeah, I don't know why. You can't find it. I see it, so I don't know. I don't know how to not see it. Let me see. Is everyone here with their first and last names right now, by the way? Everyone who's here has it. While she was sharing, a couple more people showed up. Hi, Justine. Hi, Jill. Hi, Afra. So, any more calendar questions? Now, if you haven't tried it yet at all, other than in class, give me a no, meaning no, not that you don't have, you haven't tried it, so you don't know if you have questions. If you've tried it and it works and you're able to make appointments, then give me a yes. But don't give me a yes if you just tried it in class and haven't tried it, because then that doesn't really count. Because it's not until you try it on for yourselves that you really know if you've had an issue with it or not. Okay, so everyone's saying yes is because they've tried it, they've made appointments, they're okay. So what are you saying? Maybe another entry would be registration day for your summer classes. Thank you. That's a great one. And that is in a couple, it's next week.
April 23rd.
What is that?
Yeah, April 23rd. So I'm going to share my screen and I want everyone to do this with me. Okay. And one of the many things I need to do is this week is send you guys an email with all the registration information for summer classes. But the registration for that is April 23rd. Now, when I stopped you from being in the day mode, Molly, it's not
Mhm.
necessarily that they didn't want you to stop being in day mode. I mean, if you have a ton of appointments per day, it's the same. When you're in day mode, you would say, well, today I need to make an appointment from here to there or from here to there. So the appointment situation is the same. It's just, I find it easier to gander the week because I have so much going on. And if you guys had entered your schedule for teaching, you'd be in the same situation, right? Where you'd have at least some of you guys retain only Mac, some of you retain Living the iLife as well. This is the fictitious Mac class that I set up the other day. So I'm going to just delete all those future events. But see here, for example, last week I had made a walk the dog every day. And notice how it's going over a certain time when I have to be in another conference. So if normally that time works for me, right? But for 2 days it doesn't, I can either ignore it or know that I need to get someone to walk the dog, or I can just move it and walk the dog after that is over. In this case, since it was a reminder, it wasn't an appointment, it just moved everything over, right? Versus leaving it where it was. And so reminders don't tell you, oh, walk the dog today versus move it tomorrow. Versus if it's a continual thing that you move and you move it one day, it'll tell you, are you sure? Don't you want to move it, back, for one time only. Now, this one was the submit professional development hours that I had done last week. Well, I already submitted them, but I had it repeat so it would remind me every day. But I already did it. I did it, in fact, that day since I had reminded myself because of you guys. So I can click on the done. And then in my reminders appointment, but in my reminders thing, it'll show up as done, right? Like I don't need to have it be reminding me anymore because I did it. Got it? Here's one of those invitations. I won't be able to because I'm teaching. So I'm going to double click and I'm going to say decline. Now, in case I change my mind or I really want to know about it or I can't, I can go back to my invitations and go to the ones that I replied and there it is. I happen to decline to go, right? But it's still there. I've replied to it, but I don't have any new invitations right now. I've replied to that one with the decline. But if I want to change and say maybe, I could still go and say maybe, or hey, things have moved around and I can accept now. Okay. So it disappeared from here though. What if I said maybe? See how it came back? But it came back in color because I said maybe. If I had said accept, it would be full color. But when I say decline, it's gone. It's only left in here. So that's for those of you who get invitations, because Molly had 3 of them, right? And that's how come you had them in the calendar. All right. So now let's all put in an entry for next week. So if you're in week mode, I go over here to the 23rd right there. If you were in day mode and you're in today, right? Then you go to the 23rd in your day calendar by clicking on that and you're in April 23rd, right? So if you prefer the day mode, either way, day mode or week mode. It would be weird to go to month mode and try to make appointments here, at least for me, because I have so many things going on and this isn't even my full-on calendar. So this is just to get a gander of the months. But since I prefer getting a gander of the months out here, I rarely ever go to month mode that way. I just either live in day mode or week mode. So I go to that week, I go 1 week over to the 23rd, and then I don't know, I think it believes that it starts at 8 a.m. I'm not sure. So either make it an all day appointment or you can say maybe it's, from 8 to 6 at some point that day, if you have nothing else to do, remember, like you fill the day with that. I have no idea if you have other things that day or not, but usually when I have something that can be done any time of day, I might do this and let other things appear, or I just put it somewhere in the middle of the day when I think that day I might have time, right? So I'm here, I'm gonna change the new event to register for summer SBCC classes, right? So that's the day that registration opens. Some of your classes are the kind that get full instantly. So you need to be on top of it, you know, at 8 a.m. or whenever the registration starts. And then that's it. It's just a reminder. So if it's just a reminder, it would be good to add some alarms, and the alarms you add here in the same place where you say April 23, 8 a.m. to whatever, right? There's where you have your alerts. Now, these are alerts. They're not alarms. I spoke wrongly. This is just an alert. An alert, maybe I want to be reminded an hour before, or maybe I'm going to click on the plus sign and I want to be, if it's one of those classes that gets full instantly, I want to be alerted the day before to remember to be at the computer, you know, 10 minutes before registration begin. I think ceramics is kind of crazy. You need to sign up instantly or it's full, that kind of thing. Then you want an alert. These alerts are going to show up as little pop-up alerts on your top right part of your computer or on your phone. It'll show up on the main screen when you open up your phone. It'll say registration starts, you know, that kind of thing. They're not alarms. Alarms is something you set up on your phone and it actually goes doo, 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 and it wakes you up or it reminds you of something urgent. These are alerts, which is just a banner pops in and says registration's beginning tomorrow, you know, that kind of thing. So now I've made myself a register for summer classes on, yes, the 23rd. And in case you make a mistake and move it around, sometimes when things really matter, I actually, even though it is there on the 23rd, I might just write Wednesday, the 23rd, right, at 6 p.m. Like I might remind myself in the text, because what if then I move it over and it says, ooh, Tuesday, 22nd, was it that day or that day? Or worse, what if it got moved behind and then you're a day late, right? So when the day really matters or when the time really matters, I might go ahead and add that to the text of it so that I can read it and go, oh, Wednesday, okay, Wednesday. Sure, I'll pay attention. Then go to 8 a.m. So I do it earlier. So I'm in there before everyone else kind of thing. Okay. All right. So Julie, I see some questions. Julie?
Okay, I added the registration for next week,
Mhm.
but when I click on it, how do you get the alert?
Okay. So you have to go into the part where it says April 23rd, just click there and all the choices open up. Okay. So when you first see an appointment,
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
okay.
it doesn't, it just gives you a test, right? A terst. Okay. A terst. When you click on it, it tells you April 22 at 10:30. It's the tiny mode. And you're like, I want to add more stuff. So just clicking on the time, just simply clicking right here, anywhere. It opens that section and you can tell it to repeat, travel time, alert, or not. Does that make sense?
Okay, I got that. And then my other follow-up is, where do you put the reminder? You had it someplace and I don't have a reminder.
The alert, you mean?
No, I thought,
The reminder that I put in here to
yeah.
submit. Okay, you make them either in the reminders app or, okay, you make it right here and instead of making an event, you switch over to reminder.
Mine just shows
Oh,
register
what version of operating system are you, Ventura? I think.
Ventura.
Yeah, that's new. Up until this month, they had reminders only on the separate app. It just joined. Hold on, I have give me a second.
So if it has an alert, that would be just as good because I don't have reminder.
Then you need to go to the reminders app and make your reminders in the reminders app. And then you need to check your reminders app or have the reminder have a little alert to pop up as well. But if
Okay,
you have Sequoia for sure, I'm not sure in Sonoma. In Sonoma, it might have been there that it connected reminders to the calendar.
Okay.
But just as a curiosity, if you're in Ventura, and I don't know, I don't remember every one person's computer individually, you could possibly be in Sequoia. I don't,
No, I can't update. Mine was 2018. So,
okay, so you can't, okay, good, just wanted to know.
yeah.
Yeah, Sequoia uses a lot of artificial intelligence and stuff, and so you get to a point where, as I said, I don't think you need to upgrade. I don't think you need to upgrade as you keep doing more and more. At some point, it does enough things that you really begin to want it, then you upgrade, right? But for now, 2018 computer technically is 7 years old. They usually make them the year before. It's 8 years old. Is as long as it keeps working, go for it. The moment it stops, then consider, okay, if this stops and it's a problem, I know that it's time to move up. Especially because you don't even have an iPhone. The reason I'm saying you don't have even an iPhone is that a lot of the advantages of having an iPhone and a Mac come to play when you have a newer phone, and suddenly you can't do that on an older Mac or whatever, but you have an Android, so you're not even using a lot of that connection. Does that make sense?
Right.
So
right.
why even bother, right? So yeah. Okay. So did everyone make their Wednesday 23rd register for summer classes?
Yeah.
And you were able to put an alert and stuff like that, then cool. Let's see, Tracy.
Question, when when is the building finished to where you're going to be back into a classroom?
Good question.
Oh, they are promising for the fall session. I was shown in the other day. The other day they opened the door for me and they showed me the plans. The architect is working on them. The whole building, the whole room is raised, it's empty. And so it's happening. They already took the sink. There was this big sink in the back.
Yeah.
They took all that out. They're changing the cabinet. So they're working on it, and they've promised the fall session, which is end of August, mid-August, end of August. So I am crossing my fingers because this was supposed to be done a year ago. That it'll be ready. This time it's working. Up until now, they kept promising, but this time they opened the door and showed me, and the thing is happening. So.
But you're not gonna stop doing Zoom classes, right?
No, what I was doing for the last few years is HyFlex. So you can either come in person to the classroom or you can be online like this, but I am in the classroom instead of here. And
Yeah.
I have people on Zoom and people in person. And it's the same class as this one, only some people prefer to be in person and come and I can help them by hand.
Yeah, I just find it, for me, it works so much better to be on my own machine as you show us how to do it. So
Right.
please keep that up.
Yep.
All I know is that for you guys it's easier. For me it's harder. But for you it's easier because some people, especially the Mac classes, people on their own computers, right, can see how to work. Before, people had to use the school computers. Now, I'm after COVID and working like this with people's individual computers, I'm happy for people to bring their laptops and put them in that spot and work on their laptops, so it'll still work. But some people have desktops, and if you have a desktop, then stay home, right? But if you need the hands-on help, come to the school. We're going to have upgraded desktops this time. Last time we had to work on old versions, but now they have new computers. So come in person, learn as much as you can in person if you prefer in-person classes, and then you go home and you try to do that then on your computer. But yeah, it's for those of you who like being on Zoom, Zoom is good. For those who love you in person, you'll be in person, but that won't start again in the summer. I'll be on Zoom again.
But
Yes.
in person, we can bring our laptop.
Yeah, in person you can bring your laptops.
Okay.
And before it was hard because people ran out of batteries and the plugs were really uncomfortable. So we had a meeting, they told us, what do we want? And amongst all the things I wanted is individual plugs, power plugs, so that people can sit with their laptops and plug them in so they don't run out of battery. So that's happening. All the spots will have, I mean, again, it's in the plans. It's hoped for. I cross every finger and hope they listen, that they're going to put individual power outlets for each sitting space, so that you can bring on the computers and make it actually work. So let me change Jose is here. Let me rename him to Jose Raimundo. Raimundo. I'm putting N. Okay, it's not Raimundo. There we go. Hey, Jose, thanks for joining us. So yes, in the fall sessions, you'll be able to be in person or online. And if it's in person, you can bring your laptops. And I have to say, I had a student once only. I had a student who would lug his desktop in. Not sure if that's the best thing to do, but hey, it worked for him. I've never had anyone else do that. Not sure that it's very safe, but if you're a big, strong guy and you want to bring in your desktop, you can do that too. Yes, Tracy?
One question. Who's the general contractor?
I have no idea.
Okay.
They changed.
Find out by Wednesday and let's take bets as to whether you're going to be on time.
I do know they sent me the plans and the plans have all the information.
Let's make it.
But I
let's
know that the plans
fun.
were made by the first architect and then they changed and now it's a different one. So I don't know who the
Not the architect, the general.
Yeah,
Who's
I know,
in the
but I don't
building.
know. I just have the plans of the architect. You know what?
You have a homework assignment.
You guys can call and say, I'm tired of this not working. Who is it? And they answer those questions. I can tell you the person to call who's in charge of getting it done. And the more pressure, then when they come with some other surprise, they will go, oh, well, people are pressuring us. We should get it going.
They're
So,
making a lot of unkind changes, like the art rooms. There's a lot going on that we're not all privy to, including the instructors.
yeah, I
Answer
know.
your
I
comment.
know. We had a big
Chris.
meeting yesterday about it. They're adding, it's a wonderful new program, but although everyone is happy with a wonderful new program, it seems that they just decided to unhouse some of the art programs without telling the instructors. And I saw something about a lab and I thought, God, are they going to put them in room 3? I don't know about that part, but yeah, they've just gone, I guess. I mean, ultimately, we feel like we have our rooms, and in reality, no, we don't have our rooms, but at least it would be nice to be consulted, right?
Yep.
So yeah, there was a bit of an issue that they are going to be, they're adding this healthcare program certification. I mean, it's wonderful for Santa Barbara to have it and for the city college to have it, but it's pushing some people out.
Doesn't belong at the Wake or Shot Centers. It belongs at the hospital or some other on main campus.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. It belongs, it's here because it's a program that is going to be part of the, we have quite a few healthcare offerings already. And my husband used to be in charge of the one at UCSB. It's ridiculously expensive. At the hospital, they want you to come in and know how to do it, right? Or they charge you thousands of dollars. There's nothing other than LA or San Francisco. So to have it in Santa Barbara available as non-credit is an incredible opportunity for lots of people who can't have, a college education, and they'll be able to go in there and have a really good healthcare program. The program's wonderful. The opportunity is wonderful, but they need to make it fit in the same place that we all are. And so they always complain about we're not using our rooms well enough. And now they're going to use our rooms, but they should have asked and they should have told us. They shouldn't have just taken. Anyway, that's just our
Yeah.
opinion, teachers.
It's-
But yeah, no, the
yeah.
program is marvelous. The hospital doesn't do it. They just want to hire people who have been trained, and we're the people who train them. So, yeah.
Not-
And you
yeah.
guys, when you go to the hospital, you want people who are well trained, right? So
Sure.
it's a great program.
If you don't get enough students for the summer programs, will you send an email out to I'm on the fence whether I take it again because or
Yeah.
just wait till the fall.
I'll
But
do
if
it.
you
Yeah.
need students rather than having them cancel the class, will you let us know?
I will let you know. And guys, what she's talking about, some of you have heard me send a desperate email out going, guys, I need
Yeah.
students. And then you look at the schedule, go, it doesn't work for me, and you don't sign up, which is fine. Or now and then I just need more students. And if someone sign up, even if later I drop you, it allows the class to run even with a few less students. Now, I wouldn't do that if I had no students, but if I had enough that I just need a boost. Ever since I haven't had the in-person classes, there's always 5 to 7 less students who don't come to the class, and it's been harder. I've been hurting for this whole year, trying to get enough students. It'll get better once I can be in person again. So definitely my request is give it a try. And if you think you can make it to just sign in, like Julie is able to be here only until 2:30. Well, but she's coming. Or sometimes you just tell me that you're gonna take it, but you can only watch the recordings. As long as you're a past student who I know who that will work, I can make that happen. I would never have that happen with a new student. If a new student doesn't come, they just get dropped, right? But thank you for that reminder, Julie. Yes, but I won't know if I need students until June, right? Because
Right.
my classes don't start till like mid-June or something like that. So by June, I will be like, okay, it looks like these, so I'll send an email out going, hey guys, remember to sign up. And then if a week before the class starts, I don't have enough, then my desperate, please, can you?
In the summer, it'll be Tuesday, Thursday, right?
It'll be Tuesday, Thursday, okay.
On
Thank you.
that score, may I ask a question?
Yes.
The iLife class I wasn't gonna take because I've taken it a number of times and I have an old phone. But I think, shall we say, the current situation has persuaded me to buy a new iPhone while I can get one. Will
Oh, yeah.
iLife teach me to use it?
Oh yeah, the iLife class. Well, the iLife class is just about photos, photography, video,
So not the iPhone itself.
not the iPhone itself, but I end up teaching quite a bit of iPhone in it. Just like in the Mac class, I teach iPhone because, we're going to the settings and stuff. But no, I'm hoping we can put together an iPhone class for new users. We had one and they canceled it, they canceled the course, not the class being taught, but the description of the course for some reason dropped out of at first they didn't think our School of Extended Learning can teach things that are supposed to be for preparation for the workforce. How many of you guys are preparing for the workforce? I don't know, but it's just a certificate that is a preparation for the workforce. So the classes, when the iPhone class was proposed many years ago, it wasn't considered important for the workforce. I can certainly make a case for it now. So the idea is to try to bring it back and bring some other related classes. I taught some that are like running your business from the workforce for a specific professional development group. There's just so many things now that the phone is responsible. So I would like to bring that back.
Well, I just know that going from a 7,
Yeah.
no home button, I already won't even know how to turn it on. So
Yeah, you guys,
maybe I should
in
after
the
all.
intro to the Mac level 1, Mac level 2, even if you've taken it, if you have a new device that is much more advanced, you might not notice, but every time I teach something on the phone, then I tell you on the computer, then I tell you right now, even I'm going to say, okay, let's switch to the phone to do the same thing that we just did on the calendar. So by default, in the Mac intro to the Mac level 1 and 2, you learn about a lot about your phone, and then in the iLife class, all the new stuff that has to do with the iPhone photo stuff. So that'll give you a really good running start. And then since you're the one who's in the class, who's been in a lot of my classes, you ask me, hey, how do I turn this on? Of course, even if it's outside of the questions, I'll still help you with that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
basically today we're running through all of these basic communication apps, which are on both the phone and the computer. And if you know how to run all of these that I've been teaching you, and now we'll keep moving forward, then that alone is giving you a big jump ahead on how to use your phone. Then you might download some other apps that belong to some other companies. I can't go into that ones, but if you know how to use all the basic iPhone apps and you know how to use the settings to turn things on and off, that's pretty much knowing how to use the phone. You know what I mean? I teach you how to use the control panel. I teach you how to do all of that is using the phone. Now,
Yeah, and that's pretty much all I use it for anyway. It's just.
yeah, and
Okay, thank
just
you.
so you know, what he meant, in case no one knows, it's possible if you're looking to upgrade your phone or your Macs, for people who are looking at having Macs that are on the end of their life. And again, I'm not one to ever say upgrade for no reason, but if the tariffs in China, a lot of the Apple stuff is made in China, if you're thinking I'm gonna wait, thank you for reminding me about this, because I've been saying I'm gonna wait till June to get the new computer for me. And I don't have time to deal with this because I'm leaving on Saturday, but you just reminded me that by June, my computer might be 3 times as expensive, 2 times as expensive. And I wish you hadn't reminded me, Thomas, because I don't have time to deal with buying myself a new computer right now.
Buy one in Spain. Maybe you can get it less expensive there and bring it home.
No. The computers are even more expensive out there, and then
Oh,
bringing
really?
one in.
The Apples are, the Macs are?
Yeah. Anyway, I've been waiting for the studio computer, Mac Studio is, their new design of it comes out in June. And I've been waiting till June, my old computer is from 2015 and it's creaking. And whenever I try to use all my design apps, they just, they barely work anymore. But I've been waiting and waiting till June. So anyway, let's keep going, guys. But thanks, not thanks for that reminder, Thomas. And now,
A little more pressure.
yeah, no pressure. Now let's go to our phones, guys, and let's do really quickly the same thing we just did on the calendar, but we're gonna go to your phone, to our phones. And
I'm
and
gonna
then
leave
I'm gonna
now
segue.
then.
What's
Yeah.
that?
I'm gonna leave now then, since I have
Okay,
an
since
Android.
you don't have that.
And I'll
Okay.
see you Wednesday. Thank you
I'll see
very
you on
much, Deanna.
Wednesday. You're welcome, Julie. Thanks for reminding us about the appointment.
Yeah.
So about the 23rd. All right, so here's my calendar. And remember that I had chosen to see it on kind of like week mode, but 2 days in a row. And if I want to then move, and I don't know where or you're at, how your phone is looking, but if you want to move over to the 23rd to see, here's the 23rd. And if I go over to like 8 a.m., I guess the appointment hasn't arrived yet. The one that I made in my computer. See how it's not here yet? I'm surprised because I guess I didn't have this. Do I have it on slow mode? No. Why wouldn't it have arrived yet? Well, it'll show up. I don't want to do another one. At some moment, I have so many things open. Oh, see what I'm doing? I'm closing open things, closing. What I'm doing is I put my finger here at the bottom and I push up and it gives me every single open app. And I had so many, I am pulling them up and out of the way, up and out of the way to close them, up and out of the way, up and out of the way, up and out of the way. Phew, now I have nothing on. Remember, like when you're using
Deanna, you're muted. You're muted.
oh, how funny. Thank you. How much did I say? When did I get muted? I don't know. Was I muted for quite a while?
Just about a minute.
Wow. Okay. So I was showing you how I was closing all my open apps on the phone because just like when on the dock you have a ton of little black dots, that's all out of open apps, especially if you have an older phone, a 7 or one that doesn't have much space in it. Then it's better if you don't have a ton of things open. So I just closed a bunch, so now I don't have them. But let me just show you if I open the settings, right? And now when I want to go back to my main page, I pull from the bottom up and then I go and open, for example, my camera. And then I'm going to just like pull from the bottom up to kind of close it. And then I'm going to open my calendar. And then I pull from the bottom up to go back home. And then I open my clock, right? And so I've opened just 4 or 5 different apps right now. And then I open my photos. So now I have 4 or 5 different apps open. And how do you know what all these open apps are? Here I've opened my contacts. It's by pulling up again, but this time pulling up and holding, and then this whole list of every single app that I have open shows up, okay? And I had like 20 open before. So if I want to close them for real, all I need to do is grab it and just push them up and out of the way. And now I'm really closing them up and out of the way. So again, how did I do this? You go pull up and hold a little bit and then let go. And then all these apps pull open. And now I'm going to select, push, push, push. And I have now closed all my open apps. And so when I open something, it'll be the only open app. This is the home page, like the Finder, and this is always open. Okay. So I sometimes surprise myself. I do that and suddenly I find that I have 25 open apps. And it's, if you're ever wondering why, especially your computer, your phone is behaving weird, is all those open apps as well. Anyway, so let's go to our calendar, which I happen to have up here. And let's say that we're going to make an appointment. So again, here's today. It goes red. Anything that's the day that you're on, it goes red. Okay. Now it's telling me with red and gray that it's showing me these 2 days, even though today is the 14th, it's showing me 15. And if you don't remember how I did that, I went to this little tiny guy here and I said, I was on single day and it's showing me just today versus just tomorrow, right? Versus just the 16th. And I wanted to be able to see 2 days at a time. If you want that, then you can click over here and say multi-day. If you don't want that, stay in single day. That's fine, right? Don't want to get this more confusing than it is, whichever way is best for you. So go ahead and check and see if you guys made an appointment for the 14th and the 16th. If you made a MAC class that went 2 days in a row, you should still be seeing this class. And see how I have it set up? It tells me all the details of the class CRN. You guys don't need all that. You just need to know MAC. And then here's the Zoom code and here's the time. And then on that day, you can just click over here and just say join and you'll join on the phone. If you do this and you're on the computer, you'll join on the computer, okay? Zoom will join you on the phone as well as on the, like Jose right now, he's on his phone and you can join this way, okay? Then here I have my reminder of walk the dog. If I click on it, it went into the reminder details, right? It reminded me that I have walk the dog and this little thing means daily, like repeat daily. So if I want to go from here into my reminders app, I can either open my reminders app or I can go to show in reminders. And now I've gone to the reminders app. So now I was gonna spend a little bit of time in the reminders app later, but just showing you how they got connected, right? Because my reminder got placed in here. That said, again, you were only able to do that on Sequoia. I don't think you could do that in Sonoma. Or you can do it on your phone. So let's go ahead and make a reminder on our phones right now. So this is today, Monday the 14th. Any questions before I start on this? Were y'all able to, you might have not made a reminder the other day. I know that I had you make some appointments, but I don't know if you made a reminder. So let's first make an appointment for this afternoon. Let's say that when class is over, right, 4:35 p.m., let's say that right there, we want to say call someone, I don't know. And it's a reminder, right? And we want to remember to call a certain person. So I can click over here with my finger, dong, and it says new event. So as soon as I let go, it tells me what do you want that event to be. But see how if it's an event, it'll be a calendar appointment. If it's a reminder, it'll go into your reminders app. Does everyone have this choice of event or reminder? I'm
Yeah.
not sure if you do, Thomas. You probably don't, right?
Yeah, have it.
Give me a yes if you're getting, when you try to make an event, when you try to make anything in your calendar, if it opens up and you see event and reminder, give me a yes. If you don't, then give me a no. Oh. Thomas had to leave right when I was asking him. Okay, Jose, you don't see that? Okay, just out of curiosity, what phone do you have? Do you have an iPhone? And if you have an iPhone, do you have what number iPhone do you have? I'll let you put it, I'll watch the chat to see if you answer on the chat. All right, I'm not sure. You said no, but I'm not hearing your answer as to what kind of phone you have. I need to know. I'm curious to see who can or can't do entry.
iPhone 15.
What's that? You have a 15?
iPhone 15.
Oh, so you should be able to do this. So tell me where you're at. So on a 15, you should be able to do this. That said, iPhone 15, but let's check on the settings. What's your go to general?
I can't do that right now.
Oh, okay, you can't do it. The no wasn't that you couldn't do it, just that you can't do it, but because you're at work or something like that. Got it. Not that it's not working for you, but I understand now. But just don't forget to go to software update on your phone, you guys, and to make sure that you're updated to the latest phones. But then again, probably Thomas, who had a 7, even his latest update, I believe, won't go to 18.4. So he might not be able to connect events to reminders. But everyone else is giving me a yes or nothing, right? So Jill, Justine, Yolanda. If you can or not get to this, let me know. Anyway, let's just do that. Let's click in here again, and then let's make this one be a reminder, and it'll be call, I don't know, I'm gonna call Justine. There we go. I'm gonna call you Justine. All right. If I need to make any notes about what we need to talk about, maybe we need to talk about, I don't know, registration. Registration. I'm inventing this one, Justine, okay? And then what time, since I put my finger in the right place, it's 4:30, but 4:30 I'm still teaching, right? So 4:30 is not a good time for the reminder. So I'm going to click on the time and I'm going to say maybe 4:45 between me helping people or whatever. Now, do I want to repeat that? Do I need to call her every day? No, I don't need to repeat that. And do I want it to be on any particular list or anything? No, this is more than enough. Just a reminder reminding me to call her. So I'm just going to add, and there it appears as a call Justine after my appointments. Okay. Was everyone able to make a reminder? Give me a yes. Give me a little check mark. Okay. So I'm seeing yeses from Jill. Justine, who I'm calling, isn't here right now. But Afra, everyone else who's here is giving me a yes. Yolanda, are you there? Are you paying attention right now? Yeah, you're there. Okay. Were you able to make a reminder? Do you need a hand with
No,
that?
no, because I cannot find in my cell phone where the calendar is.
Okay,
I'm
so let me
sorry.
help you find the calendar. So if you go to the main page, right?
I am on the main page.
There's
What
a
I see
search. See in the bottom here, the search?
in the bottom, I see. Oh, I see. Okay, now I see Monday 14. So
Oh, well,
I
you
tap
already
on
found it
that
then, okay.
and oh, I see. I'm sorry. I
Oh,
don't know
no
what.
problem. I'm just trying to help you out, and I'm glad that by trying to help
So
you out, you found it, right? So then go into the calendar since you found it. And then you could also, you can just click and put your finger where you want an appointment, or you could also click on the plus sign if that's easier, right? And then you'll have to give it the time. The only advantage of putting your finger here is that if you have to do it at 9 p.m. and you click, then it's already got that time, right? But if you today at 2:45, if you click on the plus sign, it'll assume that you want an appointment from 2 to 3 p.m. Does that make sense? So clicking on the right spot just saves you a little bit of time. So I'm going to go ahead and click here at 8:30, and I guess I got it around 8:15, near enough. And then I'm going to decide if it's an event or a reminder. Okay, so
Diana,
let's make something, yeah.
I just need help because mine is not like yours. I don't know how to. I
It
don't
could
know
be
how
that
to
you're seeing
my
it in day mode or in month mode, or how are you seeing your calendar?
uh and the first is the calendar from April 1 to April 30, followed by
Like this?
HTTP.
Are you seeing it like this?
Uh,
April 1 to 30?
that is so close. The four of them are so close to each other, followed by some of the things that are probably written somewhere else.
Can you find today's date on whatever you're seeing and just click on it?
I see that one, right?
Are you in this mode?
Uh,
Turn your phone around, see if I can see it. Put it next to your nose, next to your face. No,
next
next to your
my
nose, right next to, so you're in calendar mode. You're kind of in a calendar mode, but you have like a different thing on the bottom. You're seeing it, you can see it stacked like that. You can see it compact like that, or you can see it listed like that. I think that's what you're showing me, right? Kind of the calendar and then some of the things due today.
all I can
Yeah.
say is that mine is
Yeah, this is
completely
kind of what you're looking at.
organized.
You're seeing the month and top, and then just what's on for today. So it's guys, up here, right? if you're in month mode, you can change how you see these things. And in this case, the choice that I have set up is list, right? And so when you have that mode, then you're seeing the whole month plus whatever I have set up for today. I don't have a need to see the month all the time personally, so I don't do that. Just in the month mode, which is the one she's showing, or you could be in compact, where you're seeing 2 months but no appointments. You can be in stacked, which is kind of showing you little colors, and if you color code your appointments, that would help, but that's no use to me. Then you could see it in details mode, where it's trying to tell you that at 1:30 one call, it's not useful to me either. On a phone, the April doesn't really work for me, or in this list mode, which is what Yolanda has, where you see a bit of a calendar and then you see just today's stuff. I prefer, let's click on the 14th, which is today, boom. And oh, because I'm in that mode, it's not gonna, let me go from compact. Okay, so if you are in the calendar mode, right? Switch, this is where I believe you are, Yolanda. Go to this icon and choose compact. Now,
Okay.
now you're seeing just the month, right? So now to see the day, click on the day of today. And now you have all of today.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, don't worry. It's just that and now the same icon gives you options for today. Like you can see things as a list, which again, I don't like, but if you like, that's fine. Everyone has a choice. Or you can see it in multi-day, which I told you is kind of one of my faves. Or you can see it as single day, which might be a bit better when you're first learning how to use your computer. So your calendar. So you're basically, this is today. If you want to see tomorrow, you click on the 15th. This is tomorrow. You want to click on the 16th. This is the 16th, right? So it's like the cleanest way to see it. Give me let me clean your answers. Give me a yes if you've been able to navigate the different views of the calendar that I've been showing. Okay. And normally you don't have to know them all. You set on the one that feels comfy to you and use that one, which might not be the one that's comfy to me, right? Your needs might be different than mine. I have many things a day, and so I prefer to see my entire day. If you really have a thing every now and then, you might prefer to see it in this list mode, where you might see that Monday there's nothing, Tuesday there's nothing, and then Wednesday there's one thing, and then
Oh,
Thursday
that's
there's
good.
nothing. So you can just scroll up and down like this.
Uh-huh.
I know that other people like this view mode. I prefer just to see the day in front of me, right? And to be clear about it. Now, in this mode, then is that I had us make a calendar reminder or an event by going to the plus sign, and you get a choice of event or reminder. Okay, since I already had you guys make a reminder, let's make an event this time at 8 p.m. Let's go to the movies. Oh, I didn't even need to write 8 p.m. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Movies. Actually, it's more like I think 7:45 that movies start or something like that, 7:30. So I'm going to go to the time and I'm going to choose 7, let's say 7:30. And that's it. And since the movie is usually going to go, if I need to block out the time, I could say to 10. I don't know, 10:30 seems a bit too long for a movie. Send to 10. That's it. And then I don't need an alert. I don't need a reminder. But if I were to need one, I could go down here to give me an alert. And to give me an alert maybe an hour ahead, maybe 30 minutes ahead of time. So I'm ready to go, right? Now, if I'm traveling to a movie theater far from me, you might want to add travel time. Like if I'm going all the way from here, I'm on the east side all the way to the Calle Real, I might want to give myself also an extra 15 minutes to travel, right? I won't. I'll be going to State Street, but sometimes I like to walk there, so I'm going to give myself a 30 minutes so that I have a chance to start walking in time. So when I finally am done and I say add, I'm discovering that oops, in order to go to the movies today, I'm gonna have to miss that conference where I can't. And if I check on tomorrow, that conference is still there. So, and then Wednesday it's still there. Oh, it looks like I could do it on Thursday. Okay, so I'm gonna go back over here. I'm gonna click on that and I'm going to change this. I'm gonna edit. And I'm gonna go and say that I need to move this to Thursday. And then I'm gonna say done. And there we go. And so now if I go to Thursday, I got the movies over there. Okay. So I just moved it around, losing at the time. Now, was everyone able to make an appointment? It didn't need to be the movies. It didn't need to be moved. It's just checking out how to do this. Yolanda, were you able to make an appointment,
Yes,
event, or a
it was
reminder?
it was an event for, I think I wrote it for tomorrow for the 16th. How do I do that? Let me see. It was like
It's for the 16th, but you made it for tomorrow and you need to move it?
yeah, it is I made it for to do tomorrow, packed, and then what it says packed for trip to San Damiano, which
Mhm.
will be the 16th. So it
Yeah,
was
so it's good that tomorrow you need to pack, yeah. Because the trip is the 16th, you need to pack tomorrow, right?
yeah,
You want to move it to the 16th.
yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah, you made it for the day before. That makes sense. I'm packing for my trip on the 19th. Guys, on the 19th, I'm leaving for my 500-mile walking trip. Crazy, how exciting. But yeah, I've been packing any minute that I have. I've been working on the trip. So so all that happened ahead of time, right? Okay. So say that you're lost, you don't know what days you're in, you're kind of like, and you need to go back to today. So like we did on the computer, when you just want to go back to today, there it is. You go back to today right there, click on that and it brings you back to today. Okay. Now, the first day I had shown you how if you move the phone sideways, then it shows you the weekly view or the monthly view right there, right there, or the yearly view. So that kind of, this one is recreating the computer. So if you go to week, then you say all the days of the week. On the phone, I don't know how useful this is because it's so tiny, right? That, but you know, to get a gander at what's happening for the week, it could work. I kind of prefer to have it in straight mode and to just see 2 days of the week at a time. That's enough because then when you go like that, you see the other 2 days. So very quickly I can see, you know, 1 week just by moving sideways. So this is my default mode for the calendar, but it could be that you prefer to just see it differently, and that's fine. Everyone has their preferences as long as you know how to use it. Now, if there's any other calendar questions, please ask me. Otherwise, I'm going to move on a little bit more to reminders. See, where is that reminder that we just created in the reminders app itself? And how else can we use the reminders? And I'm going to just do a little bit of that. And then we're going to take our break. So how are you doing with, let me answer your phones. All good with phone appointments? Were you able to make an appointment that's more complicated on your phone with like more days, repeats? Do you want me to demo a multi-day appointment on your phone? If you're good with everything, give me a yes. If you still have a question, either raise your hands or give me a no. Okay, 2 or 3 people are good with everything. Molly, Yolanda, how are you doing? All right. So let me just show you the computer reminders app. So here I am in my main computer, and if I go down to the reminders app, it kind of looks like this. If you see it on your dock, go ahead and click on it and open it. If you don't see it, remember you can always open a Finder window and go to Applications and then run down to the R and open the reminders up right
Is,
there.
is
What's
this on the desktop or the phone?
Right now I'm on the computer,
Okay.
desktop. Okay, so I open my reminders app. I'm gonna share just my reminders app and I'm gonna just gloss over it. Up until now, I haven't found it that useful personally because I'm good enough at checking one thing, which is the calendars. So I was using the calendars kind of like reminders app. I would say call Justine and I would put it in as an appointment. Now that you can identify reminders and calendars, I am beginning to use it myself in real life too. And I like it better, but because you can do more complicated things on the reminders than you can with an appointment. I don't know how much people want more complicated things right now. So let me just say that when you open has everyone been able to open the reminders app on their computer? You're all good with that?
Yeah.
Let me clear your feedback. Well,
Yeah.
Yolanda, did you find your reminders app?
It's just that
On
when
your
I open it, well, it says today, but most of the information there are like November 2018, and so
Yeah, so it's stuff that you did many years ago. Maybe you even did it in class and you haven't used it again. So it says today, but the only reminders that would be there would be things you made for today. Now notice that these are in red. Why? Because they are old dates. See, 11/6/24.
That's
So that
all.
means these are past reminders, right?
can I show you what is in mine and
Sure,
just
go for it. Share your screen.
okay, so how do I do that again? I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fine. Go down to your to all the buttons where you react yes or no, and do you see the share button? The green share button?
Under share,
Yep.
and then so I
And
have
then
the
share again.
then share again.
Perfect.
Can you see it now?
Yeah, I can see it. And you kind of, like me, have 3/5/24, right? The last time you did it. So dental appointment. So you seem to have, for some reason, it says, no, I don't know why it said, oh, you have it in a folder called November 2018. That's what the gray part is. But you're not seeing your sidebar. So again, it could be because your window is too small. So try to grab it from the corner. And
This one right here.
from here and drag it open a little bit more because you can't go much further that way. If not, maybe you need to say view to show this. There it is. There's your sidebar. Okay. So you have a folder here that you made once called November 2018 for some reason.
Ah,
So if you click on that, that's what all these appointments come from. See how they're in the folder November 2018. Now, for people who haven't made folders yet, you wouldn't have that issue, right? But at some point you made some folders with dates, and I'm not sure that's not really a good idea of how to use the appointments because the reminders, because you don't really need to make folders based on days. The appointment, the reminder itself has days. So that's what it says November 2016. That said, you made this appointment on 4/18/2023, and you never told it that you did it. You never checked it. So it's still there under today, like it's still something to be done. So go ahead and check on it if it's been done, or if it's not been done, then you need to change the date to have it for when it needs to be done, right? So click on that. Yeah. So if you do that, it goes and it is considered done, and it disappears from your to-do list. Okay. See how after you click on them,
Oh, I see.
clearing
So
up.
I have to check it, and that will disappear, and I will have
Yeah,
new.
it's like a checklist. It's like done, done, done. Later, if you want, you can go see your cleared appointments, but over here, see where it says completed? You could go over there and you can see anything that you have completed, but that's what needs to happen. You need to check them for them to disappear from your today. Okay?
Oh,
So go ahead and yeah, it looks like you did use this quite a bit a year or two ago. But then yes, but then it needs to be checked. And so these are your completed ones, and here are the ones that you are now showing as completed, right? So these are the ones that you just had there that you just checked on them. I remember it said
Yes.
basic needs fair. So these are all your done appointments.
I see.
And they're
Thank you
going,
so
and they're going
much.
down to 2020, 2018. Looks like you were using it and you have a lot of
Wow.
days, but you stopped using it, right? So now let's go back to today. Okay, let's clean all this. Let's go back to today. And other than cleaning up all the things that you've been having set up for years that you never done, by checking on them, once you're done, hopefully you'll get to just something that's due today. Or click, if you go to schedule, see how it says you have 30 things there, you have 29 things there, and you have, yeah, so, and these again, they're past due. They're like, you didn't do this, right? Or you maybe did it, but you never checked on it. So that's why you're seeing so many events there that are not checked. And again, you seem to have put them, many of them in a folder November 2018. So that's why that's in there. So if you still need to do any of these, then you would leave it unchecked and you might change the day. But it looks like this one is set up to be reminded daily. So daily, even though you check it, it'll show up tomorrow again and tomorrow because you have a daily reminder for that. So something like walk the dog might need to be there daily and you want to remember every day to walk the dog or to I don't know, things that you do daily, like every day you have a time. And so other than that, a reminder doesn't need to be daily. Does that make sense? Now, I don't think you need almost any of these reminder categories personally, but anyway, because they don't seem to be useful. Maybe, I don't know, you might have something in family that's useful, but a folder would be like, say that you have a lot of projects, a lot of different things that need to be done to complete a project. For example, you call it trip to, where did you say you're traveling? San Domingo or something like that. So you could have a folder called San Domingo, and in there you have 5 reminders that you need to do for that trip. So then that might make sense. Once they're done, they're done. Maybe you can get rid of that folder. But other than that, having a date as a folder doesn't make sense because reminders have dates, okay? So let me just show you a bit more how to use it. So this is under today, this is under scheduled, and this is all your reminders that you have, completed or not completed. Once you check on them, they'll all go into the completed folder and you'll just have whatever is upcoming. The fact that it's in red, it's because because it's been scheduled and the time has passed and you haven't done it yet, okay? In a way, that's the whole point of a reminder app. It's to remind you of things that you need to do and then to go, hey, you didn't do this yet, right? It's like a to-do list, but of things that need to happen. I'm going to stop your share for a minute. Let me share mine. And I seem to have 4 or 5 things that I never finished. So I was supposed to remind you to build portable hard drives last year and I never checked it. Now, I could say that I need to do this every time I teach Mac level 2. So I could give it another date. So say that I want to change the date, I can either double click it or I can go over here to this little, let me make it smaller, to this little I for info. And I need to move this over here so it shows you there it is. When I clicked on the I for info, hold on, it's just that I have Zoom in the way. Then I can tell it to remind me, so I'm going to go over here and say, no, it needs to be 2025, and not November, but maybe I can just move it back to April 16th. So I'm going to remember that on April 16th, 2025 at 1:10 p.m., I'll get a reminder. Okay, and so now the good news is it's disappeared from today. Why? Because it's scheduled for April 15th or whatever it's going to happen. So here it is, reminders to bring portable drive. So ideally, you would schedule all your reminders and you would have them under schedule. And here I sent birthday part to Mark. That's the one that we made the other day, call about adding eSIM phone. I already did that. So ping, I click on that and I already, boom, on Saturday, I sent the birthday card to Mark. So once you click on them, they're done. Now this is later today. Today, now I have a call just seen at 4:45 p.m. and I have to walk the dog at 7. Once I've done it, I'm going to click on this, gone, I'm gonna click on that I walked the dog today, but look, this is a daily reminder. So tomorrow, when I click on today, it'll say again, walk the dog at 7 p.m. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
I scheduled it as a daily reminder. But Justine, once I finish calling her, it won't come back because I will have called her, right? So it might be under completed, but it won't be there. So now you can see, well, tomorrow, oh, look, tomorrow is true. Last I'm going to contact logician. I need to do that. I need to do that. But then it's not so overwhelming because you only have what you need to do. And then once you've done it, you click on it. What if I do this one early? It's like, oh, I did this one today. It's not due tomorrow. Boom. It's gone. So now when I look at my scheduled, I only have, this is past due. Oh, I never bought the wood. I still need to do it. So let's click on that and let's tell it that I will do it, I don't know, on Friday. Okay. Next Friday, I'm sorry, because that was a past, so it's moved. It's out of today. Walk dog, I just forgot to click, but I have today's walk dog, right? So if I look over here, Friday, now it says by wood, which I didn't do in time. So I had to move it. So you go to this little eye over there and you tell it what time, when you're gonna do it. So it looks like this one isn't up until tomorrow. And then this one is on Saturday, on Sunday, and this is on Friday, Wednesday, and this is on Friday. So then it makes sense, right? To have today, I just want to see what I did today. That's it. But I'm look forward and things I need to do. Oh, okay. I look under scheduled. Does that make a little bit more sense, you guys?
Yes.
Now, when you have a project, this is when I use the folder. So project build a garden shed. I might have 2 or 3 different things I put in there. And that's when I use project. Now, Yolanda, when you created that November 18th, you were selecting it. And then when you make a new appointment, it falls in there. So what if my next appointment is cook dinner for guests, right? Took dinner for guests. Since I had this selected, it shows up as a project. You know, I didn't put a date or a time of it, nothing. Let me add a date. Let's say that tomorrow I need to cook dinner for guests. What time? Well, I'm gonna be cooking around 6. So I gave it some times. But when I go to scheduled or today, it's telling me that I need to cook dinner under project build garden shed, which is why in your case it says cook dinner November 18th, because it's a folder called November 18th. See how you had a folder down there?
Ah,
They call it lists more than folder. And that's why it shows up there. And I could go, oh, no, it shouldn't be in that project. I should have, you know what I mean? It wasn't necessary to have it be in, and it's not part of building the garden shed. Right, so I can change that and I can take it out of the project and I just put it back in regular reminders. And this is real high priority, so I can, because I have to do it, there's no question, for example. Then I gave it a high priority. See these 3 little exclamation points? High priority, right? And so I did that in the here, or but see, I have a folder called reminders and a folder called project build garden shed. And that had gone into the wrong project. So now when I go over here and I look at it again, now it's just under regular reminders. But this one is part of building the garden shed. And this is part of building the garden shed. Is that now, notice that on this one, I have a little person. Like the rest don't have a little icon. When I click on this one, I assigned it to someone else. And you assign it by sending them an email or a message. And then they know they need to do it. So like maybe I assigned it to my husband, for example. So you can assign the contact electrician and you remind someone else to do it. But you can have under this account, you can say, what will it take to build this shed? Okay. I need to get the plans. I need to get the wood. I need to get the contractor. I need to get the permits. I need to get, so you make yourself a little timeline of all the things that you need to do. Things that you can't do, you assign to different people. And then as the dates come by under your scheduled, it'll appear like, oh, in 2 days on Friday, I need to go buy the wood. Does that make sense?
yeah.
Now, if I look at my calendar, it should say over here, you know, oh, you're not, I'm not sharing the calendar. These reminders should appear in my calendar now as things to do. So this is a better way to make my reminders when it's projects. When it's just called Justine, I can make it in the calendar, who cares? But when it's a whole project, you can lay out a whole project of the 10 steps or 20 steps that you're going to need by when, and then those will appear in your calendar. Pretty cool.
Mhm. Okay.
Now, that's enough for reminders. Like if you guys need or are interested in begin to use it more next time we come around, I'm finding them much more useful now. So I will be hopefully incorporating into my daily life. I did already actually put some reminders yesterday because of this trip I'm doing. I have a whole list in my notes app of things that need to get done. Things that need to get packed, but some are fine to put on the list, but some things need to get done. And if I don't do them today, I need to go and buy some euros. If I don't do it by now, I won't have time before I go. That should be in my calendar as a reminder, but also as a calendar because I need to do it today after class or the bank will close. And by the time tomorrow I'm busy and da, da, da. Does that make sense? So it's not an appointment, but it is also, I don't have an appointment with anyone to do that, but it's a reminder to get it done at a certain time. But in my project, Get Ready for the Trip, it's one of the things. So you can also have a you can have a project just called groceries, right? And you put the list of all the groceries. You could make a groceries list here. You click them on when you bought it, and then when you want to buy them again, you go to the completed and you unclick them. You unclick that you bought eggs and milk and butter, and then they're back in your project, right? And so then you click them when you bought them. So I don't necessarily think it's the best grocery list that way, but hey, there's different ways of doing lists, and one could be in the reminders app.
Okay,
right.
break time. Break time.
It's break time. Any questions about the reminders, you guys? All right, so it's 3:12. Be back by
3:30.
3:28, 3:30. That correct-ish? No, 3:12, 3:30 is more than 15-ish. Well, let's leave it at that. We all need our break today. I'll see you guys at 3:30 p.m. All right. Come on back. Come on back, everyone. Let me know when you're here. Either turn on your videos or give me a yes for those of you who don't turn on their videos when you're back. All right, I see Mary Ellen and Dawn. That's it. Where's everyone else? It was a long break, you guys.
Are we going to use our phone? I forgot mine downstairs.
Probably, yeah, so go get it because, you know, I show
Okay.
things on one and then on the other.
And hold on, I'll be right back.
Okay. In fact, I'm gonna show the, yeah, I'm gonna show the Find My app, which is all pretty much on the phone, and I just got an air tag. I'll show you the air tags. So anyway, I'm finishing the last bite.
Okay.
Okay, so Mary Ellen and Dawn, the two who are here. I had asked you guys last week to think of if there's anything a priority that you wanted me to cover. Other than me keeping going with different versions of stuff that we have to teach, was there anything in particular? And since you're the two who are here, is there anything in particular you want to know that you would like me to cover? That you look at your phone and go, what's this? Or you look at the computer and go, what's this? No?
Deanna, where's the best place to store your passwords? I've been using reminders and making a list of all the passwords that I have for everything. Is that the safest place to do it?
No.
Is the password app on the computer the way to do it?
Yep. Yeah. So there's the one that comes with the Mac. People who don't
Yes.
have Mac, you can also buy a passwords app. But yeah, there's this one's always so hard for me to teach, right? Because I have passwords. But I can show you, I don't want to, but I can show you up until we get to the password, right? So
I have such a hard time with that. Many times I go in my credit card, they ask for the password. I give them a password, they don't accept it. And then I have to go through forgetting password and go through the whole rigmarole. And then the next time I go on it, the next month, they don't accept the password. So
now,
it's
is it possible
maddening.
that you're typing it wrong? Because
No, I go in the password section,
Hmm.
copy and paste it, and they don't accept it. It's just maddening. There must be a different way to get to your passwords where it's more steady.
Yeah, well, I use the password feature on the computer and it is not an issue, so I'm not too sure. Okay, so there's two different features that remember their passwords. There's the keychain
Mhm.
and then there's the passwords app. So let me
Should they be the same as far as passwords?
well, one's what the Mac uses and what the phone uses, but they're connected. They're the same thing. So let me actually I'm opening, give me a second. I'm looking for the application. Here we go. So I'm going to show you on the Mac. and then I'm going to show you the same thing on the phone. There's a passwords app, right? So how do I got it from the applications menu. I open the passwords app.
Mhm.
Actually, hold on. I need to share the passwords app because it's locked. Okay. So in this case, I happen to have the password app locked by, this is the part that gets complicated because this is going to be the app that you need to open all of the apps, right? To open all your passwords. But this password is also the same password as how I open my computer. So unless you have a safe password to open your computer, people can get into your passwords, right? So if 10 people know how to get into your computer, then your passwords are not very safe. But if only one very trusted person knows the password for your computer, then your passwords are safe. Does that make sense?
Yes.
In this case, I just need to put my fingerprint. And it says, I guess I haven't opened it since it's been Sequoia. I just use it, but I don't open it per se. Now I have apps, I have password. This is my fake account, right? So I'm gonna say not now, right now. But I still have some here already from the past. So because this isn't my real account, but that doesn't mean that I don't have some accounts there already for the things that I do, like teaching. Like in my real one, I have a ton of passwords, right? In my real computer. But the good news is that if I click on this one here, it still doesn't give me, oh, it did. This is where I have to stop short. In the phone, it'll ask me for my password again to show it to me. But over here, it shows me my Apple ID, and then it tells me what's my password. And I'm not going to do it right now, but if I were to hover over that thing with dots, it'll show me the password, right? If I have a password for this Google ID, and instead of a password, it's showing a passkey. Passkey is more safe than a password. And some places are ensuring that you use something called a passkey, which then you unlock by using your face or your touch ID, depending on what's available. So no one can break into it unless yourself. That said, someone who mugs you can then grab your phone and put in front of your face, and then your face would open it. So if you're going, like now I'm going to be traveling and I'm going to turn off the Face ID recognition features just in case. The only way to get in is using my passcode. And then they'd have to force me to do that. And of course, I can easily be forced to do that. And I'm not such a tough cookie. But at least it's one step making it a little bit easier. But yeah, so that would be one way. So you have to hover over that thing of dots that I'm not going to, because then immediately you show your password, right? So this is one way to do it. Now, I have the computer remember these. So over here, I have two that have a warning sign that says that this password has been detected in a data leak. It should be changed immediately. So I actually, my general SBCC password lately appeared, and this has been happening to, it's the one that I've used forever, and I really change it. But yeah, I have to. So I'm going to go ahead and do it, and I'm going to do it right now, but I will do it. So it's warning you, right? And it would seem that I have a similar one here that also has been detected in a data leak. So it's warning you when one of the passwords that you're using isn't safe enough, right? And it looks like my Amazon one is in the same boat. Every now and then I clean it up and I change my passwords, and otherwise I don't. But the good news of using this, if you do have your computer remember them, is that then you don't have to remember your passwords anymore, because when you go to a site, you just let the computer fill it in. But if you ever need it, because you want to know it and type it, then you just open the app and you hover over those dots, and it tells you what the password is. Now, I'm going to show you on the phone. Okay. Here's my phone. So if I go to my settings, let me back out, back to my settings, then the password app, did they move it from here? It used to be right here. Did it put it under apps? Go to the P. Yeah, they put it as an app. So again, that's the password app. And yeah, it's got the same ones. Okay, so now if I open it to see them, it'll take me the same thing. Now I looked at it and it opened. And this is what I'm saying, that this one, if this was my travel phone, see how I just asked me for my face, and just when I looked, it immediately opened up. So it's not really safe if you're in a situation where someone is mugging you and you are there, because then they can open it up by putting your face in it. How many times is someone trying to mug you and wants to steal your phone? What they want to do is sell the phone. The fact that they might mug you and try to get you to open their phone, like to steal your money, I mean, that's a specific kind of, like, I think hackers do that, not the guy on the street that mugs you that has your face. You know what I mean? I think it's two different kind of thieves. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe thieves who would mug you and steal your phone are also the kind that could make you open your phone and then have them transfer money. I don't know how that would work. I would think that for the most part, they're, they're not the same people, but maybe I'm, so I'm gonna go ahead, and here it's exactly the same that I just showed you. When I want to see a password that I don't know, I can go over here and I can click on the password that I have. And when I click on them, see again, the same, what I just showed you. If I go click on this, it'll, if I hover over that, it'll show me the password. And once I do that, I can see it. And yeah, if I need to change it, then let me just stop the share just to see what happens if I need to change it. Does it show my current one? No, it takes me to the SBCC page where I can change my password. So each time, so that's where it went. Now the good news about this is that it helps me remember passwords that otherwise I wouldn't. Now, just so you know, oh, I stopped my share, so let me share again. Okay, so now I went into my iCloud account and into my cloud. And then one of the apps that gets saved to the cloud is passwords. See, if I go to see all, there's your passwords and keychain. See how someone asked me, is it two different apps? Well, it's kind of the same thing. It was called keychain for, I don't know, 20 years. And now the app is called passwords, but it's kind of the same thing. So it's called passwords and keychain right now. So when I click over here, again, it's just making sure, this is just the settings, this isn't the app. If I sync this phone, then any passwords that I put on my phone will go to the cloud, will go to my computer. If any passwords that I put in my computer will go to the cloud, will go to my phone. So if I now try to open the same place that I set a password and was at my computer, I can then use that from my phone. Does that make sense? So as long as it's turned on to sync, then you go back and forth and you don't need to put in the passwords. Now, this is just the passwords app. Molly, you mentioned, are you there? Your phone, your video is off and I'm not sure if you're there, if you went to get your phone.
Yeah, I'm here.
You're there,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So now you said that this wasn't necessarily working for you, that you were having issues, that it
Yes.
wasn't the same app. So was this
Yes.
the passwords app? Or
No, yeah.
where was it that you were having issues? Was it a particular company? Was it your
No.
bank? Or the passwords app was giving you things that weren't the right thing? What were you experiencing?
Oh, that I get on my credit card, for
Mhm.
instance, Chase, and it won't accept it. they said, change
Hey,
password.
but when you were typing it in and it wasn't accepting it? It wasn't memorized in the
Yeah.
passwords app.
I was typing it in fact, a couple of times, you know, trying and make sure that it was right. And because when I click on something, you could see the letters when I'm clicking, you know,
Uh-huh.
and it was correct. And then it won't accept it. They said, change your password. Then I changed my password. They said they accept it. Okay. And then they open it. And then the next month, they won't take it again.
So it's possible
There's a security
something
of
up
some
with,
sort.
it could be a security thing from your Chase account. I can't speak to that. Most of the times when you have to keep changing your password, what's happening is that you might not have written down the latest one that you changed it to. And I'm not saying it's user mistake, but I find that whenever I have issues with my passwords, it tends to be user mistake. Or you have 2 or 3 different passwords for it. A couple times in my real passwords app, not this one that just has 10. In my real passwords app, sometimes you'll go in there and you'll find that there's 3 different passwords for a certain
Yes.
place because you've changed it. So it's
Change it over and over.
delete the
Get
one
3.
that they stay there. So your computer is automatically reaching for one that's older, but you're saying that you're typing it in, right? So either you go in and you delete the ones that are older to keep one password for that one app, or for certain apps like your bank, you don't, and you have to have a password that's special for it. And
Yes.
you need to be careful because every time they make you change it, probably the next time, there's one place that drives me crazy, which is the kids' schools Aries app. It's to get into the kids' grades and things like that. Unfortunately, my son is graduating this year, so I don't have to battle with it anymore. But every school year, when I go in to get into every school year, they say that you need to put in a new password. So it'll send me to the account. I'll have to create the whole new password. And then I don't write it down because I don't write down my passwords. And then next time I need to use it 3 to 10 times that school year, I never remember what did I put last time because I've had to change it every school year. So then I don't remember. So then I go and I change it again. But is that what I'm saying is it's weird because this Aries doesn't accept, it didn't, now it does. It didn't accept the computer remembering it. I guess they wanted to make it super, I mean, it's the kids' grades. I don't know why it's so special, but it drove me crazy because it would never remember and it didn't allow me to put my own password. It was doing proprietary passwords. Like part of this kid's school ID plus something else. And I was like, I could never remember them. And it wouldn't let it would every time I went. So finally they shifted and now they have a system where you put your own password. I've never had problems anymore because I save it in here and I just remember it. But whenever the app, the place, the company makes you keep changing passwords, it's really hard because, you know, what's the chance that you remember the last one that you put in when they ask you to change it again? And you say, I'm putting in the right one. No, you probably added a letter or a number, or the third time in your frustration, maybe you put an uppercase that you didn't expect. Next thing you know, boom, you can't get in the next time. I find that in my case, it's user error. Other than this Aries that's the only one that I don't count as user error because they had a messed up system to have us do passwords. One thing I don't do, you notice when you need to install a password, have you ever seen that the computer suggests strong passwords?
Yes, yes.
I finally decided, you know, I'm going to try this one once. And on something that was less important, I used that to test it. And my experience with it was that it didn't work for me because when I needed it and I didn't use they give you this really weird string of letters. It was impossible to
Yes,
remember.
yeah.
And then when I needed it on a device that didn't have the cloud, I typed it in 3 times, 4 times, even though I was looking at it on the phone, it just wasn't working. It only worked well on the iCloud, on an Apple device, but I was trying to do it on my husband's computer. And no matter that I looked at what they had said, I wouldn't get it right. And, they're very complicated passwords and however safe they are, if they keep you out of it somehow. I'm the kind of person who we live in a neighborhood where, you know, our doors are open. I'm not too crazy about locking everything 10 times. Is it going to come back and bite me someday? I don't know, right? But I'd rather have a couple of good passwords for my bank, for, you know, for things that really matter. I do have a system for a password that my husband and I know, and we just remember it. And that's
Mhm.
like, the stuff that they could, wipe us out. I have good passwords on that I don't have memorized. And now that I'm going to be traveling, I have any passwords that are memorized, I'm going to delete them from the memory if it's like bank accounts and that kind of thing. But other than that, I'm not too panicked about the rest of them. And I'm not sure that it's healthier or safer to have it in my head or to have it in my phone remembering it, because at some point I might not remember something and need to get into it. Up until now, since I only keep the really hard ones for just a couple of apps that are like, the bank or the credit cards, I think it's okay to have the computer remember the rest of my passwords. That's my solution. There's also an app that I bought once before the Apple app had good passwords app, and it was called One Pass or Password One or something like that. I don't remember what it was called. That people said was the better one because you didn't have it. The PCs and Androids and stuff like it don't have a consistent passwords app. And I used that for a while, but then the Mac version got really good, so I am using this one now. So yeah, those of you who went, I led you to the passwords app on the phone and the computer. Were you able to hover over and see your password?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone says it's pretty safe. Everyone says also to stop using passwords, and when the company that asks for passwords provides you the option of a passkey, to use a passkey now is considered much safer than a password. What is it? It's some other system where instead of you remembering a code, it's like some encrypted situation where the computer has to talk to some other computer and there's some encryption happening in the background, and then you put, like in this case, the one that was there, you put your face and it then allows you in. So it's still a password, but yeah, if someone knows a better, I've tried to read the description of what a passkey is, and it's just some technicality thing that my brain, it just goes in one ear out the other. I just know that everyone whose security says it's much safer than a password. Yeah, I guess it's not as easy to break for hackers as a password is. Tracy.
How about the fingerprint? They said the ID
Yeah, so
fingerprint.
Tracy, do you have
How do you
anything?
feel about the face recognition?
I'm torn, same as what I was just saying. On the apps that are bank and credit cards, I don't have face recognition turned on. But for other stuff, I'm more than happy if my phone just lets me look and opens it up. As much as on my computer, this is the school computer, not mine. Mine doesn't have that, but the school computer has a fingerprint. I'm like, I'm happy putting in my fingerprint in there. And on the phone face recognition, who cares? They just get into my SBCC account. Like, I just make sure not to put my face on or my password recognition automatic, just on, as I said, my banks and credit cards. That's it. Everything else, I don't really care. I don't know. Anyone, this is not me as a professional security user. It's me as a computer's user of who isn't someone who's going to be targeted. And this is important. If you're someone who's really, famous, I never know who's in class. The other day, one of the students in one of my graphic design classes, who's been a student of mine for several years, and he now and then comes back and takes some more. Turns out that he mentioned that he wouldn't be able to make it to class because of his job. It was going crazy, and I had no idea what his job was. I don't know who you guys are. And it turns out that he's a head honcho at one of the global money market things. I had no idea, but he sent me an email from that saying, I'm in Tokyo right now because of whatever. And so instead of sending me through City College, he sent me through that. And I'm like, oh my God, that's who this guy is. Of course, when the terrorist blew up, off he was saving the world's programs. Guys, he's in my class. He's just a guy. He probably should have much more careful passwords than the rest of us normal people, right? And I'm saying that without knowing if you're not one of those normal people. You might be some head of something huge, and I don't know. So if you think you're either famous, so crackpots target you, or you have the kind of job where people target you because of your job, or because you're that rich that people target you because you're that rich, be more careful. But I'm just a regular, I'm a teacher. I'm like, if someone targets me, they're not going to get too lucky. So I'm not too worried. Of course, hopefully they can wipe me out much easier. But I've never had an issue. I'm not the one to tell you what to do about your passwords. Just make sure that they're not easy to find. Make sure that they're a system that nothing can be researched online. Don't put your kids' birthdays. Don't put your wedding dates. Don't put your parents' maiden names. Nothing that can be traced or researched. I always give an example of your favorite pet. I mean, unless you go around telling everyone who your favorite pet is, maybe it's your pet when you were 8 years old. There's no trace for that. That's a good beginning of a password. Add some numbers that aren't your birthday or your mother's birthday or your kid's birthday. Like add dates that are meaningful that you won't forget, but that aren't. Maybe you're someone who loves Earth Day, and Earth Day doesn't have a date, but maybe you're someone who loves Christmas. Well, then add your favorite pet, the color of your second car, and Christmas's date, something that who in the world would know. Now, if you're someone who sits there and argues about how important Christmas is, maybe you shouldn't put that date, right? Like find things that you won't forget, but that are internal choices and that no one can Google or invent something completely random. But the inventing something completely random is going to backfire if you forget that completely random thing. So find a system that makes sense to you, so much so that no matter what app you use, the system you set out, like all my passwords are different. I have a system of how to remember them, and hopefully that's enough. But it's not random, because if it's completely random, I'm going to forget them. That said, I have the passwords app to remind me of them, and yeah, that's what I do. But face recognition is the only one that I normally don't mind so much, but when you know you're going to be in a, traveling or in a situation where might get your phone stolen, they're not going to be able to get into with face recognition. But I'm a little bit concerned about what's happening right now in the news, at least, about people trying to leave or get back into the country, where they're getting into people's phones and opening them up with the face to see if you're pro or against the administration. And I think I've said it many times, but I'm an American citizen, but I'm a double citizen. I'm also Argentinian. I've naturalized American citizen. I'm the kind of people that they could target and say, no, we revoke your citizenship. I don't know how much they can do that, but yeah, I'm kind of careful. So I've taken off face recognition on the phone that I'm going to travel with, and then you just have to acquiesce and give them the password if you want to. But yeah, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. That's what it was like in the dictatorship times in Argentina, right? That I lived through. So I don't know what's happening, but face recognition, people can just put the phone in front of your face and get into your phone. So, it's easy, it's good, but it's also not good because of that. So anyway, that said, if they're going to torture me if I don't, I'm happy to give them the password. Not that I have anything to hide, but yeah, I don't know. If I had something to hide, I don't think I would be doing this trip, because it's a little bit worrisome. Anyway, if you don't show up in June to teach and I'm still like somewhere else, you'll know that there was some kind of an issue.
Are you going on a tour to help protect you?
No. I'm on my own. Yeah.
Oh, you're on. Okay.
I'll be on my own. Yeah. Not that I don't think a tour would protect anyone. Maybe, who knows? I mean, as I said, I'm not someone who I have any reason to worry, but at this point, the only worry I have is because I'm a double citizen, and they've been revoking things for less than that. So anyway, so I can't imagine not coming back to my family. It's crazy. Been happening to people. Anyway, enough. Don't really want to address politics, however much we might have opinions. This isn't the place and time. So did that kind of help a little bit with your question, Don? I mean, it worked. And
Yes, it did. And thank you for going through that. I've really struggled with how to save my passwords,
Mhm.
rather than on a Wheeldex card sitting on top of my desk.
I
Yeah,
think Yeah. I mean, that is or isn't more dangerous in the sense that if you have a niece or nephew who come in and you think they might, wipe your bank account, that's not safe. If on the other hand, you're someone who is very, very rich and you know that robbers could come into your house, that's not safe. But on the other hand, I mean, as I said, people can mug you and put your face in front of it. That's not safe, but it would have to be those extreme situations, right? Other than that, just don't give your passwords out to anyone and put some safe passwords in. Hopefully you're not being targeted and things are hopefully as good as they can be. I've
Well,
knock on
thanks for
wood.
taking the time to go over that. I
No, that's
appreciate
fine.
it.
And by the way, Don, had asked me a question that the rest of you guys weren't here yet. And I said, hey, one of your homeworks was, do you have questions that you want me to address? And this is the last week. I have things I want to teach you, but are there things that mattered to you? And so that's when Don asked me about the password. So now that everyone's back, I'm asking everyone, is there any other burning issue before I continue with the things I was going to teach you? Is there anything that you want me to address? Any question? Things that come up that frustrate you or you don't know about your Mac or your phone. I said that you would have today and Wednesday for me to handle that. So did anything else come up for you guys that you want to know? Nothing in particular? Tracy, is that a yes or that just a,
No, I'm good.
oh, you're just holding your phone. Okay, then I'll keep going. Of the apps that we visited, I went faster than other times through these apps. Other times we might do 2 or 3 days on mail or 2 days on stuff. Did anything that I explained before I continue with something new, was anything I explained not enough? Like you have questions like Molly this morning said, hey, I tried to do appointments and I couldn't. Is anything else like that happening with any of the apps that you're having issues with of any type and kind? I mean, it's only a few of you guys, so by now, nope. You got it with what I've explained? Okay, because I'm happy to move forward. I just want to make sure that we have the basics covered. All right. How many of you guys use the Find My app? Silence. Okay. So I'm going to teach you a bit about the Find My app. It is really, really useful. It's a hard one for me to share because I always have to you end up seeing where I am. And I've been reluctant in the past. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the recording for this part. For anyone who then wants to know more, you'll have to attend my class. And then I'll beg everyone here, maybe Mary Ellen, maybe you're good at this. When I'm done with the Find My app, remind me to turn on the recording again.
Okay.
I'm going to try to remember to turn on the recording again, but it's once I had a student who showed up at my house and it was a bit weird. And then once I had issues with someone in person, I've only twice in my 25 years of teaching have I had any kind of issues with any of that, but I tried to keep some semblance of privacy. And these videos, even though you can only reach them on YouTube with my link, if you really and truly want to and try, ultimately I'll be showing you my address when I do this. So I'm just gonna stop the recording and then when it will feel okay and hopefully none of you guys will show up at my house in a weird way. I mean, you all want to be trusting until something happens, right? I was surprised when this person showed up and I did not like that. Nothing happened by the way.
If you're a good cook, I may show up.
That's true. And you're like, hey, I am a good cook, but let's say I'm not.
For me.
All right, I'm gonna stop the recording right now. All right, I'm gonna just pause it to start the recording again. So, okay, so I just shared a whole bunch about Find My app on the phone and on the computer. Those of you who are watching the recording, if you want to know more, ask me on Wednesday. But other than that, everyone who did see the class. Remember, Wednesday is our last class. So come armed with questions of things that you want, things that you tried, things that worked, things that didn't work. All right. And I will see you on Wednesday.
Okay.
Stay behind if you have any burning questions. Other than that, class is over. All right. Bye, guys.
That would be good. That would be good.
You're welcome, Yolanda. Bye.